everyone. This is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. And I'm here to do a Soul Reflections video for you. Today's date is January 12th, 2019, and we're in between eclipses right now. We had a new moon solar eclipse on January 5th, and we're having a full moon lunar eclipse on January 20th, 21st, depending on what area of the world that you're in. So I wanted to check in with you all since we're in between these eclipses, and these eclipses are huge and intense energies of redirection, death and rebirth, endings and new beginnings. And it is the first month of the new year 2019. Of course, again, to recap, the year 2019 adds up to a 12. And if you add the 1 and the 2, that reduces down to a 3. So as far as the collective of humanity, the vibration for all of us here on this planet is a 3 vibration for the year. And that's a year of expansion and growth. It's a year of prosperity and abundance. It's a year of paying attention to our belief systems, knowing that our thoughts create our reality, keeping our thoughts and our belief systems in a very positive place in order to grow and expand and create what it is that we want to create. This is a year of self-expression. This is a year of networking, communication, group work, speaking, teaching, writing, learning. All of these things are indicated for this year 2019. Now, if we take that 12 vibration of 2019 and we add it to January, the first month of the year, we of course get the 13. And just to recap, the karmic vibration for this month of January is a 13. Now, not every month is going to vibrate to a karmic number, but the number 13 does happen to be one of the karmic numbers in numerology. So I just want to recap that, although I did speak of it in the January angel card reading as well as my last Soul Reflections video. But again, just to reiterate, the 13th major arcana in the tarot is in this deck called Transition. This is the Syrian Starseed Tarot deck. Now, in the traditional tarot, it's called the Death card, and this is symbolic. You know, this is metaphoric. This is about, again, a transition that's occurring. So this month of January is about transition, transformation, death and rebirth energies again. It's about moving from one phase to another. It's like the snake shedding its skin. And as we shed our old skin, our old belief systems, our old life, our old circumstances and situations, we're able to then grow a new skin, or we're able to recreate or rebirth a new form of existence, a new life, a new direction, a new energy within ourselves. So again, this is the vibration of January in and of itself. Now, let's talk about the eclipse energies. Again, I've already done a Soul Reflections video on these eclipses, but now that we're in between eclipses, I want to touch base and add a little bit more layers to what we're talking about here. The new moon solar eclipse, it occurred on January 5th, and it occurred at 15 degrees of Capricorn. So that eclipse actually had Saturn, the great teacher, on one side of it at 11 degrees Capricorn, and Pluto, the great power and control, transformation, change, rebirth planet, was on the other side at about 20 degrees Capricorn. So that solar eclipse at 15 degrees Capricorn was right in between those two heavy-duty and intense planets. Saturn about learning lessons and taking responsibility for our lives. Pluto about changing and transforming our lives, rising from the ashes anew like the phoenix, and rebirthing ourselves. Solar eclipses, new moons, about new beginnings. And again, the eclipses are an intense energy that lasts for a longer period of time. Now, what I want to add to the last Soul Reflections video is some of the dates and some of the planets that are going to connect to that degree, that solar eclipse degree of 15 degrees Capricorn. And what happens first is on January 14th. So we're only a couple of days away from the recording of this video on January 12th. But Mercury is the planet of communication, thoughts, and ideas. And it right now is in Capricorn. And it's going to connect to that 15 degree solar eclipse degree on January 14th. Now, that may not be a whole big and intense thing, But with Mercury setting off that eclipse degree, it's about new communications that are going to happen that lead us in a new direction, new thoughts and ideas that we have or that kind of are given to us through our angels and guides, our higher self or universal energy, again, that come in to show us the goals that we're trying to attain, or shows us the direction or the decisions that we have to make in order to move toward that new beginning. So on and around the 14th, you're going to find, again, new ideas, new thoughts, new communications, networking with people, connecting with people, or the teachings from other people that kind of give us a new way of looking or perceiving this direction we're going into. Now, one of the biggest planets that's setting off the 15-degree solar eclipse degree is going to be on January 23rd. So again, that's within this month. And January 23rd, Mars. Mars is the planet of energy, action, forward movement, and it is an initiator planet. That is going to be at 15 degrees of Aries on January 23rd, and it's going to be setting off that 15-degree Capricorn solar eclipse degree by a square. Aries and Capricorn square each other. It's a 90-degree aspect. And squares push us into movement, push us into a new direction. Sometimes it's challenging. It is a challenging aspect. But it's like the universe giving us that push to move in a direction that maybe we're resistant to or didn't think of. And again, with Mars being an activator planet, an initiating planet, a forward-moving planet, around that date on January 23rd, we're going to find that there are situations or circumstances or energies that push us into a new path, or a new energy, a new way of thinking, a new direction. So that date especially I would pay attention to. Now on February 4th, and the reason I'm going now into the next month is because these eclipses, the energies at least are going to last with unfolding events and circumstances until the next set of eclipses, which is not until July of 2019. But even beyond July, these eclipse energies may continue to be activated and unfold certain energies or situations in our lives. So on February 4th, Saturn, now Saturn was within a few degrees of that solar eclipse at 15 degrees. Now Saturn is at 15 degrees on February 4th, and so it's conjuncting or connecting with that solar eclipse degree. And because Saturn is going to go retrograde here in this year, as it does every year, Saturn is going to go back and forth over that 15-degree Capricorn solar eclipse degree 3 times. So February 4th is the first time, August 4th is the second time, and October 31st is the third time. And you're going to find that with Saturn, it's about slow, patient, methodical kind of movement towards your goals, in this case towards these new beginning energies. So this is about restructuring our lives, restructuring or building a solid foundation for these new beginnings that we're moving towards in this time, this year of expansion. Remember, it's a 3 universal year, so we're moving into expansion, creative self-expression, connecting with groups and people of like mind. And, again, moving into this state or idea or perception of prosperity and abundance. So with Saturn connecting with that 15-degree Capricorn solar eclipse degree on February 4th, it's grounding or manifesting some sort of energy in regards to the new beginning. But you might not fully realize the whole of the manifestation of this new beginning until Saturn has gone over that degree the 3 times. Again, August 4th is the second time, and October 31st. And so essentially it's taking several months here to build a secure and solid foundation for this new beginning, for this new direction. So, be patient with how things are unfolding for all of us in this year. Now again, this is on a personal level as well as a collective level. Okay, so pay attention to the collective as well and what's going on out there. On February 16th, Venus is at the 15th degree of Capricorn, and we might not see any huge thing like we do with Mars connecting with the degree, but Venus is a benefic planet bringing in blessings, Venus does rule money and finances, and it's in goal-oriented Capricorn. Capricorn rules, our career path, our destiny path, and who we are out in the world. So we may see some sort of blessing or gift of some sort that comes to us on or around the 16th of February. On March 8th, we have Mars now out of Aries but into Taurus. Now, that 15-degree Capricorn solar eclipse degree is an earth sign. Taurus is an earth sign. So there's a positive connection here as Mars now is in Taurus at that 15 degree of Taurus mark, and it's trining or making a positive aspect to that 15-degree Capricorn degree, solar eclipse degree. So on or around March 8th, we might see some very positive, harmonious unfolding of something that connects to this new beginning. And Taurus does rule money and finances and personal resources. So this can be something of an abundance nature, something that we're building towards as we're moving through that Mars and Taurus. Now, the last thing about the solar eclipse being set off is not until September 14th, and it is after the next set of eclipses, but I thought it was important because we're talking about the South Node. And the South Node is about the past or our past lives, and right now the South Node is in Capricorn, but on September 14th it will hit that 15-degree Capricorn degree of the solar eclipse and set that off. So because the South Node is about the past and our past lives and past energies, and it is about gifts and talents from previous times as well, but there's something coming to a conclusion, or there's old patterns or old situations or something that with that South Node connecting to that solar eclipse degree is going to bring something to a close as we move into this new beginning. Okay? So now let's talk about the lunar eclipse degree, which hasn't happened yet. The lunar eclipse is on January 20th or 21st, depending on what part of the world you're in. It is at 0 degrees of Leo, meaning the moon is at 0 degrees Leo and the sun will be at 0 degrees Aquarius. Now, full moons are usually about a completion of something, the intensification of an energy, and then a releasing and a letting go. So it is part of, again, of that death and rebirth and new beginnings and endings that's occurring over the course of the next few weeks and few months. Now, with this lunar eclipse degree of 0 degrees, on January 24th, Mercury is going to be in Aquarius opposing that lunar eclipse degree. On March 1st, Venus will be at 0 degrees Aquarius opposing that lunar eclipse degree. Those two dates, there can be, again, with Mercury, some sort of communications or ideas or networking that happens. With Venus on March 1st, there could be, again, some sort of blessing or unexpected beneficial energy or circumstance that kind of comes into play. Now on February 14th, and actually that's around the time of a couple of the things happening with the solar eclipse degree, but on February 14th, Mars is going to be in Taurus and it will be squaring or challenging that lunar eclipse degree. So again, it's activating something. It might feel like it's challenging or it's redirecting us in a way that maybe we weren't expecting. But with Mars in Taurus on February 14th at 0 degrees, that's when Mars goes into Taurus, at that 0 degree point and squaring that lunar eclipse degree, we might see some sort of change, redirection, challenging energy that brings something again to an end, so to speak. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative. Taurus does rule, again, money and finances. Mars activates something. So there could be, I feel like there's new beginnings with money and finances, but there's also endings, and this could be like old careers falling away, or something that you thought was going to come to fruition is not because something else, another door, a different door is opening. So that's something to pay attention to. Now, I'm going to come back to March 14th, but April 20th, May 6th, May 15th. The sun is going to be squaring that lunar eclipse degree on April 20th. Mercury in Taurus will be squaring that lunar eclipse degree on May 6th. Venus in Taurus will be squaring that lunar eclipse degree on May 15th. Those will be times, again, where there's something regarding our personal resources that come up that may feel like there's a little bit of challenge, but they're just little blips because these planets are fast moving. So whatever it is, you know, don't put too much energy or I want to say negative thinking or negative thoughts towards. Whatever it is, it's again these little blips and redirections that are taking us into a different area, or again little endings regarding something, whether it be a way of thinking or a situation or circumstance or some sort of business relationship or maybe even other type of relationship. These things are needing to occur to move us into this, again, this new expansive energy that we're moving towards. Now, the big thing with this lunar eclipse degree that I want to talk about, again, we're going to come back to March 14th. On March 14th, Uranus, considered the Great Awakener, the planet of fifth dimensional, higher dimensional energies, the planet of expecting the unexpected, the planet that rules the strange and unusual, the planet that is the rebel. Uranus is the rebel planet. So here Uranus is going back into Taurus. Now it was in Taurus last year for just a few weeks before dipping back into Aries. But now here on March 14th, it actually moves back into Taurus on March 6th. But it doesn't come to the exact square of that lunar eclipse degree at 0 degrees Leo until March 14th. Even so, I think you're going to feel it between March 6th when it first enters Taurus until March 14th. There's going to be a lot of huge, unexpected redirections happening. Uranus again brings in unexpected energies, quick, sudden, I didn't see that coming kind of situations and circumstances. Now this isn't to scare at all, but to just be aware, to be open to whatever these redirections are. The universe is leading you in the right direction. So you have to, at some point, just kind of surrender, have faith, and have trust as Uranus is, you know, maneuvering you onto a new path, or connecting with new people, or what you thought was going to be unfolding is now all of a sudden, you know, something else unfolding with maybe somebody else, or a different group, or a different direction, or, you know, in a different place in regards to locale. So, and a lot of this, again, a lot of this Taurus energy, all these planets being in Taurus, squaring this lunar eclipse degree, deals with our personal resources, which isn't just money and finances, but it can be support from other people, it can be our possessions, you know, things that we own, material items. All of these things are resources that we use. Some, you know, resources can be our gifts, our talents, you know, things that we utilize as far as sharing ourselves with the world. So some of these things, again, are maybe changing or redirecting, or we're adopting new things, we're letting go of old things, and that's just something to pay attention to. Now, I wanted to pull a card from the Syrian Starseed Tarot regarding, again, these eclipse energies unfolding, these endings, these new beginnings, and what we're kind of in the midst of right now. So as I picked up my Syrian Starseed Tarot and I was shuffling the deck, two cards flew out. This happens to me a lot when I do weekly readings, monthly readings. You often hear me talking about, you know, two cards coming out instead of one, or one fell on the floor. And so I always look at, you know, when Spirit or the universe just kind of throws cards at me, it's really important. So the first of those two cards, to explain, again, these energies that we're in, was the Five of Flames. Now this is the Five of Wands in the traditional tarot. The Five of Wands is usually about chaotic energies, or not grounded energies, or a lot of change, or a lot of things going on at once. You can see the five flames here, and they're all kind of pointing in different directions, meaning there could be a lot of different directions that we could go in, or again, there's a lot of things happening at once, and we're having to juggle a lot of energies and try to stay grounded, trying to stay balanced, trying to stay focused on where it is we're going. But the number 5, again, brings in like multiple things, and it brings in, again, sometimes confusion, sometimes chaos here. But fire is creative energy. So just know there's a lot of creative irons in the fire during these eclipse energies over the weeks that are unfolding. Now, the second card that flew out actually was the Ace of Flames, or the Ace of Fire. And this is about the new beginning. So we're moving here from the chaos and the confusion, and we're going to come into a new and more focused, more in alignment kind of new beginning here. The Ace of Fire is a beautiful card. It's very creative, it's very positive, it's spiritually oriented, and again, it's really unfolding us in this new, positive, blessed direction in this year of abundance and prosperity and growth and expansion. So I send you all lots of love and light as we all move into this new beginning together, again, both on a personal and a collective level. And again, sending you many angel blessings, you all. Namaste.